From Swangard Stadium in Burnaby, we welcome you to match day 4, or at least the tail end of it here in the MLS Next Pro season, as the Vancouver Whitecaps 2 play host to Los Dos, or the LA Galaxy 2. Welcome one and all to this broadcast. My name is Mark Schoenstert. Excited to get the action going here. The next 90 minutes between these two sides that have had very opposite starts to the season. As we look at the hosts' starting lineup, Malcolm Johnston filling into that left back spot for Mihail Gerashamenkov, who is off with the Moldova U19 national team. Another unfamiliar name that you may not realize here, but I'll point out, number 26, J.C. Gando, coming from the first team, will be making his first second team appearance here this season. Head coach Ricardo Clark has enjoyed a lot of success to start off this year. 2 wins and a shootout victory, undefeated to start out the year. Meanwhile, for the visiting LA Galaxy, their fortunes have been of the opposite variety. A couple of things to point out in this lineup. First off, no Adam Saldana. Instead, Diego Lopez will be filling into that spot. It will be crucial as this game goes on. And then also, Paulo Rudistil making his debut for LA Galaxy 2, 17-year-old midfielder. We'll see how he steps up today for Marcelo Sarvas. They're 0-3-0 to start the season, looking for that first win. They're looking to get their first goal of the season in their last matchup, so maybe taking it a step further here this evening in Vancouver. Two sides prepare to get ready for kickoff. Our head official today is Mario Aleas. It'll be LA Galaxy 2 going left to right. Meanwhile, Vancouver going right to left. Wait for the two teams to break out into their formations and then wait on cue for the whistle from our head official. Appreciate you tuning in here on MLSNextPro.com. We'll see where these next 45 minutes take us here in the first half. Gando will kick us off, and we're underway here from Swangard Stadium. It's LA Galaxy 2 and the Vancouver Whitecaps 2. Match day 4 here in the second season of MLS Next Pro. It's Max Anchor, the goalkeeper for Vancouver today. Making that trip up the west coast. LA Galaxy 2. Cleared away for just a moment. Current weather about 51 degrees Fahrenheit. And for those of you Celsius, about 10 degrees Celsius. Last week, 4-1 victory on the road at Choctaw Stadium against North Texas for Vancouver. As here's an opportunity for LA Galaxy 2. It's poked out, but only temporary reprieve. Perez plays it out to the left-hand side. Service comes in, gonna dip down, headed back across! And it's an excellent exchange! And an early goal for LA Galaxy 2. Across, a header back across the center. And Aaron Bebo nods it home. cross dips down. It's headed back into the frame by Carson Klein. And Bebo, the 18-year-old forward who's played every minute so far this season, gets his first goal of the season.
LA Galaxy 2 goals
And it
scored
is
by
an
number
early lead
73,
for Los
Eric
Dos.
Bebo. Goal scored in the second minutes.
So a great start for the visiting side. Started with that ball from Alex Alcala. Oh, excuse me. That was Elijah Ahmadine who provided the cross. Bebo, the goal scorer, trying to keep his footing there. It slipped a little bit, and will roll out of play. Early lead, early start for LA here. It was an early lead, an early start for Vancouver when they were on the road last weekend. Won that game 4-1 against North Texas. Ricardo Clark called that team a historically good side. They promote players to the first team often, and getting the good start in that game was huge. I mentioned North Texas play good style, and that his side dealt with and handled the set pieces well, but could have been better with their defensive structure. Well, they've already seen some issues here early on in this affair. Down a goal already. Meanwhile, for LA, things got going early in their game last week as well. A loss against Minnesota United. Minnesota United 2, that is, of course. And talking to Marcelo Sarvas, he said that, like he mentioned, there were a lot of chances, and I was talking to him about it, because they did have a ton of chances in that game, but couldn't come out with a positive result. 2-1 was the score. He said the volume of production was amazing. We had 3 games worth of passes in comparison to them, and what he means by that is they had 600 completed passes versus Minnesota's 200, which is just a wild stat comparison for a single game. He mentioned that his side had the better moments, and he was very proud of the way that his side played. But the fact of the matter is they didn't get the win, and they gave up a silly PK in the process, and now Vancouver on the other side. That will not be a PK, as we were talking about it. The challenge from Ahmadine declared clean by our head official. It will be a corner kick. Tough moment, though, but I think that's the right call. Gets to the ball, and then the contact comes afterwards. But it will be a corner for Whitecaps too. Service bends in, and it's headed away with authority, but danger wouldn't have come anyway because the whistle is going to work in favor of the defensive side. We've got to be more mature, is what Marcelo Sarvas said in conclusion, thinking about that Minnesota game. A different kind of maturity will have to be displayed here. You're up a goal already, very early on in this matchup. It provides a very different challenge than when you find yourselves down a goal or in a tense game, or a match where you complete 3 times as many passes as your opponent. That's a warranted whistle, a free kick. Senge drawing the foul there. And that's Lopez. A little push, but a turnover won by the Whitecaps. And here's a shot, and it goes off the post. Makes a contact with the keeper, and the follow-up is off target. Simon Gilson got just enough on that one. Here's the shot from Amanda, and Gilson just makes the right amount of contact, the minimal amount of contact necessary to get the save. Pushes it out just wide enough to have it deflect off the post. Looking for a quick response here, Vancouver. There'll be a throw-in for LA Galaxy 2. The 1-goal lead is not a safe advantage against this Vancouver side. Scored 3 times in about the span of 5 minutes last week. And that was early on in the game too against North Texas. Played forward by Anchor. Very nice tight exchanges in the middle of the pitch. And here comes Gando. Slipping it down the middle for Amanda. And he'll be called for the pushing. Everyone can talk about the excitement of scoring 3 goals in 5 minutes, putting you up 3-0. But I wanted to ask Ricardo Clark about how tough it is to maintain the energy, the intensity after going up 3 goals so early in a game, especially with a younger group. And he said that it's a tough lead to have. It changes the dynamic of the game. You don't want them to drop the intensity, and you don't want them to get into protection mode. As Gando has it again. Nice slipping pass. Another opportunity at the top of the 18. Wind-up shots deflected away. Jay Herdman entered at the top of the 18. He couldn't get it by the defender. I believe that was Diego Lopez who closed in and ended up getting his boot on it. Come in and been active early in this one, Lopez. We've got a corner kick once again for Vancouver. Ball swings in. Uh-oh. That's a soppy spot on the pitch, but LA Galaxy 2 still able to push forward. Sliding challenge to dish away that breakaway attempt. Giovanni Aguilar, the one who came crashing in. Probably definitely be something both teams will be cognizant of for the rest of the game, though, that spot over on the left-hand side of the pitch that's maybe a little bit more watery than the rest of the pitch. Another chance of transition for Vancouver. They've already won the ball back in dangerous spots a couple of times. Gando sends it in, connects with Amanda, but a good kick save by Jilson. And breaking down the other way are LA Galaxy 2. Here's Jonathan Perez. One of the first teamers down with the second team. Nice idea there for Amadine. He already crossed in a ball that ended up turning into a goal, and this time he decided to go with the light touch, but it was just too far ahead of his teammate. Now Cameron Habibullah, another first teamer, over to the left-hand side. Johnston crosses this one in, headed down, but not out of danger. Habibullah shoots, and it's just off the mark. May have made contact with Jilson, and that is the case. It'll be a corner kick. Not a bad hit, and ultimately it needed it from Jilson. Curling in and straight into the hands of Jilson. And now he'll quickly chuck this one down the pitch. He's looking to connect with Alcala there. talked a little bit to Marcelo Sarvas about the slow start to this season and what he's been able to like. What are some of the positives from these first few games? You could gather just from talking to him that he wasn't exactly in the dumps about where they're at right now as this ball comes swinging in. It's headed away. He wasn't discouraged, was the word I was fishing for. Talking to him more about it, to begin to understand where his head was at. He's felt his team's been playing well. They've been doing good and have gotten better game by game. Both as a group and individually, we've seen a lot of progress. But with that being said, he also continued by saying, now we want the win, we want the prize for our efforts, and I want my guys to get rewarded for how well they're doing. And this would be a great way to collect your first win of the season on the road against a side that hasn't lost yet after 3 matches. And they are currently in the spot to do so, should the result hold. Keep up the intensity. I don't think keeping an intense mentality will be of too much issue here. Down a goal for Vancouver. Especially at home. You got fans cheering you on. Appreciate the effort there to try to keep it in play by Gloria Amanda. So goal in the 2nd minute from Aaron Bebo, his first goal of the season. Difference in this one after about 15 minutes, assisted by Carson Klein, his first assist of the season. Rising up, 6'2" Carson Klein, able to head it back across to his even taller counterpart, Aaron Bebo, at 6'4". When it comes to individual talent, that is something that this Vancouver side is not underestimating in this LA Galaxy 2 team. Carter Clark, the head man for Vancouver, said that, as mentioned, individually, LA Galaxy are very good. And here they come again. Perez losing the ball for a moment there again. This grass not playing like one would usually do when it's dry. This ball's in the middle. Bebo drags it towards goal. But didn't have a ton of bite to it, so Max Anchor had the time to fall down on it safely. Another good moment from LA Galaxy 2. You can tell that these players are still adjusting to how to weight their passes on this pitch. It's going to take a little bit more juice to get to the location you need. And it's certainly not a pitch where you play a ball and it just keeps on rolling. The friction on the pitch today will definitely slow it down the moment it starts making contact with the grass. It's a rainy night in Burnaby. Rainy evening, not really night yet. Played a lot of their games in transition. That's what Ricardo Clark said about LA Galaxy 2. They can create tons of chances and are very fluid positionally. We brought up that with that fact, we need to be cognizant to not get unbalanced. We're all talking about Vancouver. Marcelo Sarvas quickly made a point, though, that they do their due diligence and homework on opposition, but really their focus is on themselves, on their players. They don't focus too much and adjust according to different teams. As Perez jumps on that pass. Perez still with it. Plays it in the center, and Bebo with a strong header is able to get some whip behind it. Couldn't put it on frame. Now, that cross didn't have a ton of pace on it itself, but Bebo did everything he could to crank some power into it. But it was off the mark and ultimately harmless. I mentioned that Vancouver was, up to this point, having a good season, and Marcelo Sarvas mentioned that, yeah, I mean, they have good midfielders, an aggressive front, but he made the point that when you're a young team and you got young players, the situation doesn't really matter because you're going to go in, despite the circumstances, head first with all the energy and intensity, and we're going to take advantage of that. We want to play our style no matter what and let these young guys just play. They won't be thinking too much about the gravity of any given match. Alcala chips it forward. Gonzalez plays it back to Perez. Gonzalez trying to poke that forward, but now Vancouver pushing the other way. Cando trying to thread the needle there to connect with Amanda, but instead finds Elijah Amadine. Perez sticks with it. 1-2 with Alcala. Center back pairing, giving it back and forth. Marcel Isenge and Marcus Verkranis. Center back pairing on the other side. Teo Campagna and Finn Linder anchoring their back lines for their respective units, holding down the center of the fort. This week in training, Vancouver working on their transition offense and also a little time experimenting with new formations, giving different guys some more minutes. And another focus was defending from the front. The key points of training this week for Ricardo Clark's side. This ball gets sent into the middle. And scored it in one back. Buklin. On that right-hand side. Bach can keep it in play. Day in MLS Next Pro. A lot of matches taking place right now. One more game that hasn't kicked off here in match day 4, as that was a dangerous moment for Anchor. He does well to control the ball nicely at his feet. Not a situation he wants to put himself in, though. All that hasn't got started yet is North Texas and Minnesota United 2. As Javi Bola decides to shoot. That's well off the mark. line. The assister on the lone goal today. Senge. On to Amadine. LA Galaxy 2 love to hold the ball. And they're going to get it right back here after that foul. Currently, possession is pretty close to even, 52% in favor of the visitors. As updated as it is currently. Sides looking to find their first trip to the MLS Next Pro postseason. Of course, this is the first year for LA Galaxy 2 and MLS Next Pro, which also makes this the first ever meeting between these two clubs. Poor touch there is resulting in a little bit more pressure on Diego Lopez. He's able to get it away. And that pass from Senge going across the face of goal reaches its target, but after a couple of exchanges of possession, it will be LA Galaxy 2 who have it. And some worrisome moments for them along that back line. Here they come again. The offside flag will stop that one immediately. Elijah Amadine breaking down on that left-hand side again. Come. Alcala still whining with it. Good challenge. Vancouver once again. Just how positive Marcelo Sarvas has been about his side, despite their 0-3 record to start the year. I asked him where has he seen the most growth throughout the season already, as they look to break forward again. Nothing will come of it. He said, we found more consistency and they're beginning to understand each other. He talked about just how important just simply time spent together is huge. Compiled for the roster before the season started, and really can't get to know one another until you play games together. He also mentioned that the younger guys are adjusting to the speed of the game, its intensity and the physicality, all that, which just takes time to adapt, and they're adapting. And they're shown here just how dangerous they can be. Will be looking to find that response. Not shooting LA Galaxy 2 6-3, but both teams have an equal amount of shots on target with 2. Dips down right at the right time. Shipped back across the face of goal and then headed away nicely by Senge. There's Herdman there on the receiving end of that pass. At least the long pass. There's Perez. Takes a good step. Shows some of that speed. Perez still with it. Perez tries to shoot. Now Bebo squares it across the middle. Alcala takes it, it's saved. Max Anchor sliding to the rescue. Now the cross comes in. Bebo parries it across. It's headed off. LA Galaxy 2 with another chance. This shot rockets off into the distance. How about Max Anchor sliding there to keep it at 1-0. Perez, his effort closed off by two separate players. So smart there from Aaron Bebo. Couldn't blame a young striker for putting their laces through it, but he knew he had Alcala coming on his left-hand side. It would have a wide open window of opportunity. And he did, but Max Anchor closed it off so quickly. Acrobatic effort from Carson Klein to keep that cross from reaching its target. Oh, so close to 2-0 in favor of the visitors. And Vancouver conjure up another chance here. Put the onus back on LA Galaxy to defend as opposed to thinking about doubling their advantage. Herdman. Nice little feint there. Now Javi Bola. To the center. Just trying to give a little give and go there at the top of the 18 inside the penalty area. Ultimately, it'll end up just being a goal kick. 2 wins and a shootout win for Ricardo Clark's side. I asked him what's been working for early here in the season. And he told me he might sound like a broken record, but it's been the approach from the players. Not just during games, but every day they're coming in and working very hard. And he mentioned just how professional his guys have been. As it's LA Galaxy 2 pushing forward once again. But only for a moment. Javi Bola now. There's that huddle again. Herdman. Pass just behind his teammate. How about this effort by Jonathan Perez? Now it's Klein picking it up. Kings over the right-hand side for Alcala. He shoots and it's close, but it's closed off by Anchor. Tried to tuck it in the near post, but Max Anchor is able to stretch out. Keep that one from going in. Be a corner kick for LA Galaxy 2. Alcala plays it short. Diego Lopez to the top. Perez floats it in. It scuffles around, and this one, well, off the mark for Klein. Not sure if he was going for goal or a cross, but either way, it'll be Vancouver possession. As I was saying, this Vancouver team, all the players have been very professional, day in and day out. That's what Ricardo Clark was telling me. And as far as the games are concerned, he's felt they've been very good at defending the bots. For example, like blocking crosses before they get anywhere. Bebo fights to win that back, but then a good response from Finn Linder to then reclaim possession for his side. Linder under some duress. Ultimately gives it away. Rudisil, the newcomer. Not a newcomer to the program, an academy kid, but new appearance in MLS Next Pro. Vancouver pushing forward once again. This shot doesn't get very far. With a continued effort there from Antoine Coupland. We're gonna get a yellow card here. Coupland getting his first of the season. Klein gives it away. Aguilar lays it out wide to the right. Coupland in the middle, looking to connect with Gando. Clearance will make it a Vancouver throw. The ball will float well off the mark, away from danger. Briefly mentioned earlier, this is the first year in MLS Next Pro for LA Galaxy 2. We talked to Marcelo Sarvas about how different it's been coaching this season. And he said, well, how we approach the league obviously is different. It's no secret that youth development is our main priority. He mentioned that he finds a lot of pleasure in this format. He likes working with the young group. He mentioned how much more receptive they are to instruction and coaching and learning. Much more willing to listen. Perez, Alcala. It's Alcala again, and he keeps that one in play. Certainly two different cuts of managers. Some that want to manage a pro team and fight for cups. And then, of course, there's the coaches that like more on the development side of things. Help untap the potential of a player. And it appears that Sarvas seems to fall more so in that latter category, but I'm sure is more than happy to collect some victories all along the way. So, I mean, that also is key to developing a player, is just learning how to be a winner. It's not exactly a quantifiable trait, but it is one that you can sort of tell in any given player. It's very important, that. Amadine. Still running with it. Amadine, cross it centrally. Collected. Perez now tries to curl it. I'm not sure if that went off a hand. Gloria Amanda is the person that ricocheted off of. Quick first impression, that looked like that could have been an arm, but ultimately the ref doesn't make the decision. Well, it might have been his arm, but it could have been connected to his torso. May not have been an extension of his body. Habibullah. Campagna plays it over to the right-hand side with Coupland. Coupland chips it forward. And it's cleared away before he can connect with Ba. Campagna plays it again. And that one will end up skipping wide. Corner kick here for the trailing side, Vancouver. Service comes in, headed away. Alcala does well to boot that one out of any relative danger. Gando lays it back down. Herdman enters the 18. Herdman still with it. Puts on the brakes, then goes. Plays it over the right-hand side for Coupland. Medine steps on that pass. Is able to dispel that opportunity for Vancouver. Gonzalez bringing it forward. Sends it out to the left-hand side. Rudisill into the center for Bebo. No one really running after that one after it suffered a deflection off the center back and striker. Once again, one back by LA Galaxy too, but it's only for a moment. Amanda giving chase there. One of the players that was highlighted by Ricardo Clark as having really stepped up to start this season, Gloria Amanda. Ricardo Clark mentioned that he came off, or he's come back from an injury early in the preseason and has made gigantic strides. Since that beginning of the season, he's just really taken a few great steps forward. He's one of a couple players that were highlighted by Ricardo Clark as really impressing early on in the season. Deflecting off of Ba and will be LA throw. Nine shots apiece for these two units. But 4 on target for LA Galaxy 2, and of course they got the one that was on target and into the back of the net. And that one happened in the 2nd minute of the game, in case you weren't here. Goal by Aaron Bebo. Gando still with it. He's ushered off by Klein and escorts it through the byline and out for a goal kick. Keeps it in. Plays it across the center. And that one deflecting off of Isenge. It'll go out for a corner kick. Elijah Ba bringing it down that right-hand side, plays it into the middle. And it deflects out off the center back. We're approaching the end here of this first half. Vancouver found themselves trailing for the majority of this match. Service comes in, headed on and saved off the post, and then headed through. And it's Gloria Amanda with the follow through. He collided with the keeper, Simon Gilson. Helps him back up on his feet. But it's 1-1 here. Good cross off the corner kick. The header from Linder demanded a lot from Gilson. And then Gloria Amanda, we're just talking about how well he has grown already this season, early on in the year. And he has got goal number 2. Just like that, it's looking to be all tied up going into the dressing room unless LA Galaxy 2 can create something right here. Amadine, and his cross is off the mark, out for a goal kick. Amanda, Tanzania, his hometown, Edmonton, a little bit closer to Vancouver. He has 2 goals this year, the 24-year-old forward. As we approach 45 minutes, going to get an extra one tacked on here. Just one.
The fourth official on the sideline is indicating there will be a minimum of 1 minute of added time in the first half.
And I believe that they weren't even considering adding that 1 minute until that goal was tacked in at the last moment. So LA Galaxy 2 are that close on the road to go into the dressing room with an advantage, but Vancouver is able to find one on the set piece. This one back to all tied up here. Maybe the last four-way forward for either team. Ando try to play it out wide. Amadine to Bebo as that minute has transpired. And the whistle will blow. So a goal 2 minutes into the game, and a goal roughly with 2 minutes left in the game in this first half. Leaves us at 1 goal apiece between Whitecaps 2 and LA Galaxy 2. We'll take a look around the league coming up later in halftime, but first it went down to the wire for the U15 squads last Sunday morning at the Generation Adidas Cup. David Goss and Ricky Lopez Espin have the recap for you here. We'll step aside.
The championship match of the 2023 Generation Adidas Cup. Philadelphia Union, Austin FC looking for their club's first ever win at this level. A tough start for Philly as Austin takes the early lead.
The life of a goalkeeper, just so unlucky as this ball just pops off the turf. Smith goes swinging, doesn't get any sort of contact, but Austin FC won't ask any questions. Off to the corner to celebrate, but it was always going to be a matter of if. Not a matter of if, matter of when the Philadelphia unit was going to strike. Sullivan pushes out to his left-hand side as Griffin advances into that final third. It's a man-man. Johnson just crashing at that back post. It's 1-1. Philadelphia answers.
Union fighting out of halftime. This just 3 minutes after the break. Griffin coming up from the left back spot. Johnson, the youth national team player, his first goal of the tournament, and then these two teams, they pushed for it.
And Smith, big time save here as Wolf rises up, does everything right, heads it back to a cross, a lot of pace, punches it off the crossbar. Big time save from Smith to keep himself and the team in this game.
Philadelphia, though, not on their heels for long. Back the other way, they were able to create this opportunity in the opening moments of extra time, trying to find the breakthrough.
And it's a fantastic run from Wes off the shoulder. He does everything right. Ball's coming over his right shoulder. Contact, arches the ball, big time save. But you thought Austin FC could steal this game as this ball pops across. Williams doesn't get it as clean as he would like, pulls it wide.
But just like Smith, Williams would have his chance to make up for it later on. Philadelphia, though, in the dying moments of extra time, had a big chance. They couldn't score, and here, Williams dispatches his penalty kick.
And just roots this thing underneath the crossbar. Arches the ball, man of the match for that reason. Doesn't stand, stands his ground, doesn't move. Big time save. Austin FC 2023 Generation Adidas Cup champions.
Wasn't that fun? And we've got some more for you here. Sunday evening, the U17 final wrapped up with another nail biter. James Hadnot and Ricky Lopez Espen had the call. Let's take a look back.
The final match of the 2023 Generation Adidas Cup, a champion would be crowned, and for Philadelphia, they found an early chance against FC Dallas.
And it's a good idea here from Perez. Just put this ball into a dangerous situation and see what happens. Only Junior gets on the end of it, called for a handball on Canizales, but who was going to step up? Who was going to smash the ball into the back of the net, the court? The player who's the glue for this Philadelphia Union side, connected the back to front, the front to back, but had the finishing touch to find the back of the net. But Philadelphia Union always tried to find that second goal, always kept their foot on the gas pedal. Olivas trying to get on the end, the Golden Glove winner. Eyestone, big time save. You can see the size to go down quick like a cat to deny Philadelphia Union that second goal. Molina was terrific for FC Dallas. As this ball comes across, it pops out to Vargas. I think he should play Brown there. But as this ball comes secondary, it's Schreiner, the center back, that stepped up into that final 18-yard box. Just trying to find that near post, but gets it on the wrong side. It's just so unlucky for FC Dallas not to find the equalizer there.
And all that it took was the final whistle. Philadelphia heard it and sprinted onto the field as champions. Philadelphia Union 1-0 on top of FC Dallas as they defeat the Dallas side and take the 2023 Generation Adidas Cup.
Well, we've got the halftime stats coming in the opening half, but we're going to have to wait another moment. First, let's look back at the best of Match Day 3 with this week's edition of The Spotlight.
MLS Next Pro's third weekend of matches saw everything from goals in the first 5 minutes to a shootout thriller. Here we share what's in the spotlight following Match Day 3. Your MLS Next rising star of Match Day 3 is Academy player Nicholas Nobles. The Real Monarchs defender helped lead the team to a 1-goal shutout over Earthquakes 2, their first win of the 2023 campaign. In an unexpected start, the U.S. Youth National Team member was part of a defense that only allowed 4 shots on goal. Now, the MLS Next Pro Player of the Week for Match Day 3 is Orlando City B's Fabian Loyola. He was responsible for both goals in OCB's 2-0 win over Inter Miami FC 2, with a goal and a crucial assist. The homegrown talent has put exceptional skill on display in each of his team's 3 straight wins to help OCB to its longest win streak in club history. The best goal of Match Day 3 goes to Huntsville City FC for the second time already this season. This time, it was Ollie Wright's strike from beyond the 18-yard box that earned 51% of the vote, and therefore, the top honor. For the third straight week, HCFC has had 1 goal in the running for best of the entire week. And rounding out Match Day 3 awards is the Team of Match Day honor, going to New England Revolution 2. Revs 2 had 5 different players score in their 5-1 win over Philadelphia Union 2. They doubled their season goal total in the match, giving them 10 on the season, the most in MLS Next Pro to date. There were a lot of highlight reel-worthy moments from match day 3. We'll see you right back here for Who Stood Out following match day 4.
A lot of fun stuff to sink your teeth into. I mean, you just want to talk about that 5-1 victory by New England Revolution. 5 goals being scored in general is already difficult, but having them scored by 5 different players, now that's impressive, and that's sharing the ball around. A lot of great stuff across the league. How about that strike from Ali Wright? And you gotta love how exciting this league has kicked off this season. We're only in our 4th week, and we've already seen some bangers, some crazy results. And these two teams have been a part of a lot of it, of course. Talked about in the first half, LA Galaxy 2 losing 2-1 to Minnesota United 2. And then the victory over North Texas for Vancouver Whitecaps as we now look at the stats from the first half. I'll run through with them for you. 11 shots to 9 in favor of the Vancouver Whitecaps 2, but both teams have 4 shots on target. Meanwhile, when it comes to expected goals, Vancouver leading the way with 1.49 versus LA Galaxy 2's 0.72. And then in possession, LA Galaxy with a 52.2% advantage. But that is, I think, the most pertinent numbers to go over. Pretty exciting from both sides. Either team could take it from here. We'll have the first half highlights coming later in halftime. But if you're new to MLS Next Pro, there are some subtle differences between this league and other professional soccer leagues. So we asked Michelle Montaigne and Samara Perez to help us understand what those differences are in this edition of Things to Know.
MLS Next Pro fans, we are back. Michelle Montaigne alongside my co-host Samara Perez, getting ready for season 2, which will be here very, very soon. And since this league does things a little bit differently, we're here to explain all you need to know for season 2 of MLS Next Pro.
MLS Next Pro was launched by Major League Soccer in March of 2022. The Professional Men's Soccer League provides players a pathway to bigger opportunities in soccer, such as landing a first-team contract. MLS Next Pro is fundamental to the development of all professionals working in and around the beautiful game.
There are 27 teams competing in the league this year. They're broken up into 4 divisions that make up 2 conferences. The Frontier and Pacific divisions make up the Western Conference, each featuring 7 teams apiece. The Northeast Division boasts 6 clubs, and the Central Division with 7 teams both make up the Eastern Conference.
Now, this league is all about innovation. Therefore, it features several differences from other soccer leagues. First, there are no ties in MLS Next Pro. If a match ends in a tie at the end of regulation, the game will proceed directly to a shootout with kicks from the penalty mark.
That brings us to the point system. Similar to other soccer leagues, a team will earn 3 points with a win at the end of regulation, 1 point for a tie, and 0 points for a loss in regulation. A club will earn 2 points if the game ends in a tie and they go on to win the shootout that Samara just explained following the end of regulation.
Last year, we introduced 2 rules not seen anywhere else. First, the off-field treatment rule, or OTR for short, where if a player is suspected to have an injury and is on the ground for more than 15 seconds, a medical crew comes onto the field to evaluate the player and assist him off the pitch. The player is then treated by medical staff and required to remain off the field for 3 minutes. Next, the red card suspension rule. If a player receives a red card, that player will serve the resulting 1-game suspension against the same team that he received the red card. This rule applies in the case of a direct red card or a second yellow card. 2023 will introduce a new rule. The league added a new time substitution rule. This allows a maximum of 10 seconds for a player to leave the field when subbed off. If he exceeds 10 seconds, the player coming in must wait 60 seconds to enter the field, which results in the team playing a man down for that period of time.
Also new this year, the expanded playoffs feature a pick-your-opponent format for the first 2 rounds. 7 teams from each conference will advance to the playoffs. The club with the most regular season points in each conference will earn a first-round bye. Now, during the quarterfinals, the next 2 teams in each conference, so the 2 and 3 seeds, will choose their opponent and will host their match. The 2 remaining teams not selected will play each other, with the higher-seeded team hosting. In the conference semis, the 1 seed will choose its opponent from the remaining 2 lowest-seeded teams, with home field advantage, of course. The second highest seed will host the remaining team.
Also this season, the majority of MLS Next Pro matches, plus all Decision Day matches and the Cup, will stream live on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. To view the complete schedule, visit MLSNextPro.com.
Samara and I are so excited for year 2, and we cannot wait to watch it all unfold alongside all of you.
And welcome back here to Swangard Stadium. Your scoreline 1-1 after 45 minutes. And if you're just tuning in or would like a recap, here's a chance to step back and look at what transpired in the first 45 minutes of action. Things got going early. Perez would play it out to Elijah Amadine. He'd float in a nice cross here. Klein would see the opportunity to head it back across the face of goal, and Aaron Bibu would knock that one home with some authority. That happened in the 2nd minute, by the way. Way early on in the match. LA Galaxy 2 taking the advantage. So well done from all 3 players and the rest of the team in that exchange. And then a couple of moments for Vancouver, including this one. Simon Gilson having to stretch out for that save. Just got a piece of it, which then got a piece of the post. But Vancouver would keep attacking. This moment right here, deflected away by Diego Lopez. The shot by Jay Herdman. And the Whitecaps would keep pressing on. A lot of chances in between their goal and the goal that LA Galaxy scored right at the beginning of the match. Another header from Bibu here. This one not quite on target. And then right before the end of the half, this one would go in for Gloria Amanda. Second chance effort after the first good effort that warranted a springing save from Gilson. But it back at 1 apiece. We'll see if either of these sides can find an advantage here in the next 45 minutes. We'll see. Only one way to find out, and that's to stick around and tune in. We appreciate you watching here on the MLSNextPro.com stream. Both sides switching ends of the pitch, of course, and we'll see where it goes from here. Once again, our head official is Mario Elias. My name is Mark Schoenster. We appreciate you tuning in. No substitutions for either side, so they'll be trotting out with the same 11 they were rocking with in the first 45 minutes. We'll see if that remains the case for a long stretch of time here in the second half. Galaxy 2 to get things going here on this rainy day in Burnaby. Fahrenheit now, which is around 5 to 6 degrees Celsius. It's cooled off a little bit. Gonzalez brings that one down. But it's one back by Vancouver. Erdman plays it forward for Amanda, one of our 2 goal scorers this evening. And it'll be Amanda, who's guilty of the foul there. A couple times we noticed players struggling with the ball on this pitch. On a bit of a rainy day. Wow, that's that one knocked away from him. It will fall all the way back to Linder. Excuse me, can't get there in time. And now the foul on the challenge will win a free kick for Vancouver. Senge pleading his case, but they still have a player down here. Cameron Habibullah. Curled up on the grass. The official having a long conversation with Senge. He's definitely indignant after the whistle was blown. Ball floats inside. It goes over everybody, actually. It appears that Aguilar was under the impression that it grazed off of somebody on the opposing side. It will be a goal kick. Vivo's pass is behind Alcala. Right back to the home side. Once again, they're 2-0-1 to start the season. Of course, that one isn't a draw, it's a shootout win. Kando, who's making his first appearance this season with the 2 side. Trying to play that ball in. Aguilar. That one sliding through. Gando once again. Trying to shrug off the defender. He's still on his feet. Gando gets it by another man. But the third one was too much for the striker. The midfielder more so. In a striking situation there. And Senge clears that one back to Finn Linder. Teams try to figure out where they're at here in the second half. Vancouver holding possession right now to start things off. Not a lot of the ball at the feet of the visiting side. I'll try to be more methodical here and break down LA Galaxy 2. Habibullah with nowhere to go. We'll play it over to Ilajba. That's an excellent shift pass. Habibullah. His man slips. Habibullah still with it. Tries to square it. Plays it back. This one curls in, headed down, and it slips by players. Then Habibullah smashes that one into the roof. And Vancouver takes the advantage. The 19-year-old striker collects goal number 3 on the year. Picking up the pieces and playing cleanup. It started with him though here in this corner. Gando floats up the cross. Headed down by Herdman, skates by Amanda. And a couple defenders at that. But Cameron Habibullah smashes that one home. And the Whitecaps now hold the advantage for the first time this evening.
Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 goal is for the season, scored by number 30, Cameron Habibullah.
As the team's leading goal scorer coming into the day. Glory Amanda tied him up earlier in the day, but he has reclaimed that lead for now as Ball earns himself a corner kick for his side. Not sure if they're going to credit the assist there for Jay Herdman. It would be his second of the season, but we'll wait for the stat crew to officially log that goal into the system. It's his header that went back across, though, as his corner comes in, headed away. And Klein will clear this one out. Ref going to make them bring it down the pitch a little bit more. Not the prettiest pass, but no one around for it but Ba, which was the intended target. Frame of thought that I had recently when it comes to these teams, not just these two in particular, but just across the league, a lot of emphasis is put on when they get the chance to train or play with the first team and get that experience and mentorship from the first team players. But we also have a somewhat similar dynamic between the second team and the guys on the academy side that will come up and make appearances for the second team. A couple players here who started and are playing right now that aren't officially a part of the second team, are instead in the academy program. And I got to talk to both coaches about how important it is for their players to not only learn from the leadership of the first team, but also develop themselves as leaders and be leaders to these academy guys. And I had two very different answers and perspectives on it. For LA, Marcelo Sarvas mentioned that this team is really, really young. And even when we have players from the first team come and play with us, those guys are usually also very young. And we're talking teenagers, very early 20s. He mentioned although they have that experience of being with the first team, they still fit in with the development environment. He mentioned how good of a mix of guys he's got and how all of them are still learning. So it really isn't a seniority factor in their camp. It's more peer-to-peer. It's not quite the case with the Vancouver side, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. As Kuplin slices it forward, Amanda with the back heel, back inside, off the post. The follow-through is no good. That would have been a glorious build-up. And it was nearly a wonderful finish. Amanda with the back heel back inside. And Elash Ba just couldn't quite put it in. It did everything but that. Would have been a huge chance to take a 2-goal advantage here. And now LA Galaxy 2 trying to break forward for the first time here in the second half. Ball slides in a couple more times, and just like that, it's 2 apiece. And a brace for Aaron Bibu. From nearly 3-1 to a break the other end, 2-2. LA Galaxy, too, have found a response. It just grazes off the center back, Finn Linder. And Aaron Bibu, the 18-year-old forward, has got a second one.
LA Galaxy
Comes
2,
from
goal
Cameroon.
scored by number 73, Aaron Bibu.
And also
goal scored
has an
in the
assist this year.
56 minutes.
He'll be feeling good about his performance here. Well, that one had a lot of moving pieces. And just so quick and lethal in transition. And then some slippage, wins it back for Vancouver. The tide can turn so quickly in these matches. And here's Bibu again, all by his lonesome. Lays it up top, Alcala. Lays it across, and it's knocked away, and yeah, it looked like Amadine just ran through the large ball there. And we still have a lot of slippage on this pitch here. Their footing just not quite ready for how slick the surface is. That's where we're at now, 2 apiece. It was practically all Vancouver here in the second half. And then all it took was one moment in transition, and LA Galaxy proved their quality. Alcala driving it forward to the right-hand side. Perez gets in the cross. Bibu heads it down. It's saved, but the follow-through goes in. And in the span of just a few moments, LA Galaxy 2 reclaim the lead. And in his debut, Paula Rudisil putting this one through. You can thank the efforts of Aaron Bibu there to draw the save. And my, how the tables have turned. What a switch up of events. And that's a goal in the 56th minute. And then a goal in the 59th, roughly. Just 3 minutes apart from trailing to now leading.
Goal scored by number 79, Paul Rudisil. Goal scored in the 59th minutes.
Worth reiterating, LA Galaxy 2 winless up to this point, and Vancouver undefeated up to this point. Another ball floated inside. Bibu interferes with the keeper, so that one won't count. We're gonna have a chance to check up on the keeper here, Max Anchor. We're gonna get 2 substitutions. Mateo Carbone and Axel Picazo will come in. So Picazo will come in for Rudisil, who just scored the lead-changing goal. And Elijah Amadine will come out for Mateo Carbone.
Number 38, Alex
Carbone, academy guy. Picazo, permanent member of the second team.
Number 52, Elijah and the game number 66, Mateo Carbone.
Those are our 2 first switches of the evening for either side. LA Galaxy 2 with the advantage and now looking to hold on to it for the next 30 minutes. So they officially gave the assist on the second LA Galaxy 2 goal to Alex Alcala. Goal in the 56th minute. Meanwhile, another one in the 59th by Rudisil. Makes it 3-2, and where we stand now. How about Aaron Bibu going from not having scored this season to 2 goals today and also being a major part of the third one. I talked with Marcelo Sarvas just a little bit about how big it was for Brandon Tellez to score his first goal in their last game. It was the first goal of the season for the side. We talked about how, as a young player, he'll remember that moment forever. I'm sure Aaron Bibu will have very similar thoughts about this game in general. But when it came to that goal against Minnesota United 2, not only did they congratulate Tellez in film review and celebrate him, but also they celebrated the team. Sarvas mentioned that it's the kind of goal we love to see. 25 passes were connected before that strike, and that is exactly what we're looking for. I mentioned on top of that we had other chances like that in that game. Didn't convert them though. Well, for Vancouver, they went from finding a response and then taking the lead to start off the second half to once again trailing. They're gonna need to dig in and find some grit here. And it'll start with a substitution as Vasco Fry will come in for Habibullah, one of their 2 goal scorers. And at the time, the goal scorer that took the lead in this game for Vancouver.
Vancouver Whitecaps FC, number 52, Vasco Fry.
Moving back into action here. They'll be relying on the rocks and leaders on this team, and when it comes to the main player that they rely on in that regard, it's the one who just passed the ball away, Giovanni Aguilar. He's one of the other players that Ricardo Clark mentioned that has really stepped up and impressed to start off this season. And here's Carbone, and it's cleared away. We're talking about Aguilar. Ricardo Clark said that he's been our rock in the middle of the pitch, and he is just a stabilizer both during games and just every day in training, in the dressing room. I mentioned that he's been our captain, and he's our captain for a reason. And here he is now. Aguilar with the cross, headed away, brought back down. Ba to the right-hand side. Coupland still working with it. Coupland squares it, and it's deflected out for a corner kick by Isenge. So we'll get a corner kick As the Whitecaps, too, try to find a response once again. Another equalizer. Coupland's ball comes in. Handed away once again by Isenge. Now Fry just coming into the game. Some fresh legs, but also some legs that will have to get used to the slippery pitch. Aguilar, nice threaded pass inside for Amanda, and Amanda goes down. And no point to the spot. A bit wishful from Gloria Amanda. Fun little fact for you guys. Not about this game in particular, but just about MLS Next Pro history. While these games have been taking place, or it was earlier actually, we had a goal by David Vasquez by Philadelphia Union 2. That was the 1,000th goal in MLS Next Pro history. We were all on watch for where it would come here this weekend in match day 4. And it's Vasquez who is the winning name as far as that's concerned. Our fair share of goals here in this one. Vancouver would like to have another one. Amanda has a little 180, plays it back, still pinging around. And now LA Galaxy 2, so dangerous on the counter. Take it forward. Maybe thinking about doubling that advantage. I think they can know how quickly a game can turn around. I mean, they already flipped the script once here. They're fully capable that it doesn't take too much time to allow 2 goals. So they'll continue to push on and try to pad their advantage. See what actually comes of this right here, because that was definitely deliberately holding up play by Carbone. As he loses his footing, and he very much has the objective of diving on and covering up that ball.
LA Galaxy 2 to number 66, Mateo Carbone in the 69th minute.
He'll get a yellow card for that, and I think that's probably appropriate. It'll be his first yellow card of the season, of course, not today. Well, also today, meaning to say that it's not going to be a second yellow and a red. Service from Herdman. Headed away. Cleared out pretty emphatically. Gando running forward, trying to veer around the center back, plays it across the center! And Amanda made contact with that one, but it was a tough moment. Definitely wasn't the most comfortable of finishes, but he contorted his body and tried to put it on frame. It was just a little bit behind him. No challenge was asked of Simon Gilson. So action will continue. Now 20 more minutes. Vancouver are staring at their first loss of the season. Meanwhile, the reverse for LA Galaxy 2, trying to find their first victory. Can they hang on? Or will Vancouver find another equalizer here? And that was a thumping challenge. You could hear it. Coupland came stepping in as Carbone was trying to make the clearance, and I think he probably caught a lot of shin guard there. That's what it sounded like as he whacked Coupland. Coupland was another one of those players that was shouted out by Ricardo Clark. And we're going to get a yellow card for Diego Lopez, his first of the season. Came and ran through him. LA Galaxy 2 with the fleet coming down that right-hand side. Alcala to his right. Perez still with it. And he found a slot of space, but no one was there to occupy it for LA Galaxy 2. But they'll go forward again. Gonzalez. Back to Picasso. Carbone. Vancouver, some quick untouched passes, trying to jar free some space and time. And now they're cleared out. I mentioned earlier about how these two team players get a chance to develop as leaders for the academy guys on the team. And I talked about how LA Galaxy 2 maybe doesn't quite have that dynamic, but it certainly is the case for Ricardo Clark's side. He said that those qualities of leaders growing can come in moments. And he mentioned a few days ago, Cameron Habibullah, who subbed out of the game but did score in this one, for example, showed a moment of that growing leadership as he gave a kid on the U19 side instruction on movement in a drill that they were all participating in. One doesn't suddenly become a leader one day. That's got to grow over time. And I think that's something that these two teams are also doing on top of just developing as players. And a lot of the emphasis is on them being the pupils. Coupland sends this one in. Headed on by Herdman. Check that, that's Aguilar. And it's an equalizing goal for Vancouver. Giovanni Aguilar, the captain, brings it level once again. Coupland, nice floating ball in. And it's just out of the stretched arms of Simon Gilson. It's Aguilar's second goal of the season. And a wonderful cross from Antoine Coupland. That'll be a second assist. And we're all tied up at 3 apiece once again. We've had some fireworks here. And it's given away. Vancouver with a prime opportunity. Ganto still with it. Back across center. No one's there. It was behind him.
Vancouver Whitecaps
a missed chance for the home side.
Second of the season, scored by number 66, Giovanni Aguilar. The goal is scored in the 74th minute.
If you're paying attention at halftime, if this game ends in a tie, a draw, the game is not over. We will go to penalty kicks. So something to think about for these next 15 minutes. Both these teams will be looking for that goal to just log it all up, take the victory and be happy. Now coming the other way. Here's Ganto. Plays it forward for Coupland. And the players go down. And it looks like it'll be a free kick in favor of Lostos. And looks like we're going to get a card at this dugout over here of Vancouver. One of the coaches or the coaching staff in general going into the books. Bibu brings it down. Great challenge there. Sliding in was Finn Linder. A bit of a wipeout in the aftermath of that whistle. Eventually by Vasco Fry.
Bench in the 76th minute.
Diego Lopez, the one who got upended there. After the play, though, that wasn't what the foul was called for. Amanda connects with Aguilar. Tried to get that out wide. Here's a shot rocketing from Fry. Off target, now for a goal kick. Not a lot changes week to week for Marcelo Sarvis' side. They don't really have themes or things to emphasize in training on any given week. He said it's usually the same. We spend several days to focus on the individual, have small group trainings. And at the end of the week, we have our tactical day to talk about our structure, reinforce principles, and also learn about our opposition. I asked him how important is that side of things, not because I know that they don't adjust their game plan according to who they're playing against, but it's still valuable to scout out teams. And he said, yeah, it's certainly important development because it's something that the first teams will commit more days to in the week, which is the scouting out and maybe adjusting plans according to who they're up against. He mentioned that the end of the week's a good teaching day and we enjoy doing it, and it's very beneficial. Vancouver breaking forward. Aguilar with a lot of space. Still with it. Plays it out wide. Elijah Ba into the 18. And that one will go out for a corner. Back and forth this game has gone. At this point, we've had LA Galaxy 2 leading, Vancouver Whitecaps 2 leading, LA Galaxy 2 leading, and now Vancouver trying to retake the lead again. Service comes in, punched out. Here's Herdman, still with it. He lost track of the ball there as it pinballed around a couple of feet. Perez. Oh, contact there, and see what the decision is. We're gonna get another substitution while we're at it. Brandon Tellez, the goal scorer last game for LA Galaxy 2, their first goal scorer this season, will take the place of Alex Alcala.
Third substitution for LA Galaxy 2 in the game, number 53, Alex Alcala.
So they'll put in some more firepower, as it were.
Brandon Tellez in the 80th minute.
Coupland still with it. Coupland, nice ball inside, but it's just too far ahead of Herdman. Now Perez coming the other way. Has a lot of room to operate. And he gets his pass scuffed, but he returns right back to him. Tellez. Out wide. Carbone. Plays in the cross, and that one knocked out of danger by Linder. Here's Tellez again. Tellez back centrally and collecting in his Max Anchor. I would like to say for just a moment, how fitting a name is Anchor for a goalkeeper. I can't imagine how many times he's been told that already. Slipping up there is Isenge. Coupland, the benefactor of that one. So we've got under 10 minutes to go. All tied up in what's been an exciting affair between Vancouver Whitecaps 2 and LA Galaxy 2. Picasso, everything he can to shake by the two players and does well to draw the foul there. It was 2-on-1. Senge on the brakes. We have a magical moment late in this game, and if we do, where is it coming from? Who's putting one more name onto that score sheet? There have been quite a few names on there right now. Well, there's always room for more. Coupland with the ball. Couple of slicing moves. Coupland gets tripped up by Carbone, and he's frustrated about it. I'm sure he's a little bit stressed out about the situation, already on a yellow card. I don't think that was one warranting up another booking. But all the same, I'm sure it's something not only on his mind, but on the minds of his teammates, the coaching staff, the fans watching. And now a free kick from a dangerous spot for the home side. It's Fry and Coupland who are behind this dead ball. It's actually Herdman there with him. Coupland curls it in, headed down, and it's poked out. Ba plays it to Coupland. Gando shrugs off the contact. Still Gando. Chips this one in. And it's headed down and off the mark. Giovanni Aguilar looking for a brace, but more importantly, a game winner. Comes flying in. Kind of bulldozes over Carson Klein. Marcus Fargranas, another one of those first teamers that's here with LA Galaxy 2 right now. And that one's given away. Law throws it in. Now Coupland. And he gets knocked over. And no penalty is awarded. A lot of contact there, but the ref deciding not enough contact. Senge, big guy coming in, knocking over Coupland, who's just 5'9" versus Isenge 6'1". That might have been a factor in why it wasn't called. You're allowed to make contact as long as it's not pushing, shoving, or all too extra violent. Carbone. Oh, had an exchange there over to that left side. Now pushing it right down the middle. Gonzalez goes down. No penalty called on this end either. Tellez to Perez. Back to Tellez, and he gets the deflection off of Gando. I'm actually going to say it also went off of Tellez after that, so it'll be a throw-in. Four more minutes plus whatever we get tacked on for stoppage. Once again, this will not end in a draw. We will go to penalties. One of these teams muster up a late winner. Herdman plays it back to Linder. Baugh to Coupland. Good turn from Gando. Gando into the 18, inside the center, and it bounces a couple times inside the 6-yard box. That's what you're looking for, but no one was there to poke it home. Now galloping the other way, LA Galaxy 2. Still going with it. What a run this is. Here's Picasso. Back to Perez. Orchestrated that run. Sends in the cross. Bebo gets the touch on it. And then it goes in. Oh my goodness. It's a hat trick and a lead for LA Galaxy 2. The clearance deflects off the striker. Perez sends in the cross. And trying to clear it there was Mateo Campagna, but he clears it right into the stepping foot of Aaron Bibu, who now has a hat trick on the day, but more importantly for his side, he's given his team the lead with just about 2 minutes to go. Wow. Now Vancouver have to throw everything at the wall. But LA Galaxy 2 aren't going to allow it. Here's Perez breaking down. Perez with a step. Gets it poked away by Linder. Much needed from the center back if his team's going to have a chance in this one. And at this point, you can start throwing the kitchen sink forward. Ball turns. Fry sends it forward. Amanda can't track it down. It's too far ahead of him.
Substitution for Vancouver Whitecaps.
So we're going to get a Whitecap substitution.
Numbers 92.
So Joe Hansen will come in.
76, Joe Hansen. LA Galaxy 2, goal scored by number 73, Aaron Bibu. Goal scored in the 88th minute.
It'll be Jay Herdman that comes out. As LA Galaxy is going to do everything they can to chip out this clock.
The fourth
minutes of stoppage time.
There will be a minimum of 4 minutes of added time.
Well, they may have tacked in an extra minute there at the end, once again, for that goal being scored. Maybe right after the decision was made to make it 3. So 4 minutes for Vancouver to find an equalizer. 4 minutes for LA Galaxy 2 to hang on and get their first win of the season. Aguilar switches the pitch. Coupland brings it down, but the whistle's going to blow. stunning sequence of events to separate this game between these two sides. A goal in the 2nd minute by Aaron Bibu. Response right before halftime by Gloria Amanda. And then Cameron Habibullah would score to take the lead for Vancouver Whitecaps 2. Only for 2 goals to be scored in a 3-minute window by Bibu and Paulo Rudisil in his debut. And then it'll be an equalizer from Giovanni Aguilar to make it back to 3 apiece. And then in the 88th minute, a hat-trick goal. Right place, right time for Aaron Bibu. It's about as close as you could get to the essence of an own goal without it actually being an own goal. The clearance just going right off the boot of the striker and into the back of the net. Just stunning stuff here. And we may not be done yet. We still got 2 more minutes. And Vancouver are attacking. That one punched straight up into the air, and the whistle will blow. Simon Gilson able to knock that one away and then win the foul. So he's back up on his feet. And he'll nimbly make his way over to that ball. On the road against an undefeated side, LA Galaxy 2. Looking to collect W #1 in their MLS Next Pro history. Gilson plays it in. Brought down nicely by Bibu. Again, a day to remember for him, the hat trick. And it's been a wild one too. Bibu rolls it across the center. And then it's knocked away. And they'll be able to do a lot of good time killing here, LA Galaxy 2. Their next affair will be at home against Austin FC2, and Vancouver will stay put and host Minnesota United 2 next weekend, match day 5. Ball will bounce all the way across the pitch. And Gilson will let it roll out. Just killing more and more of that clock. They can see that one being tacked on to their record as we speak. Gilson plays it in. How many more moments do we have in this game? Gando going forward. We're going to get a throw in. Actually, I think an advantage was played there on that foul earlier. Gando drawing the foul, so it'll be a free kick and maybe the last chance for Vancouver to equalize. I think Coupland is relinquishing responsibility to Vasco Fry. Swings it in, headed around a couple times. And it is collected by Gilson. And it's over. First win in MLS Next Pro history for LA Galaxy 2 in a 4-3 thriller on the road against Vancouver. What a game this was. Now let's take a look at today's man of the match. And it had to be Aaron Bibu of LA Galaxy 2. The man of the match is presented by Adidas. Getting a hat trick in the game that you also scored your first goal in. If scoring your first goal is memorable enough, how about getting that and a hat trick in the same game? What a day for the 18-year-old from the Kaji Sports Academy. Came over to LA Galaxy's academy program and is now flourishing.
Thank you for attending
Well, with that in mind, that is the end of our broadcast here on MLSNextPro.com. We appreciate you tuning in. I don't think we need to do too much thanking you. I'm sure you had a good time tuning in and watching this one. An absolute doozy of a game between Whitecaps 2 and Galaxy 2. But for our broadcasting crew, my name is Mark Schoenster. We'll see you next time here on MLS Next Pro. Hope you have a good evening.
Broadcast of MLS Next Pro may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcasted without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.